I felt like grabbing hold of him and shaking him and saying, do you realise your life is a sham? It's a joke. It's a travesty.
I used to produce reports when I worked at the council that I knew no one read.
Yeah.
I used to collect stats that no one read. We used to ask questions of residents that I knew that no one wanted to know the answers to.
Yeah. He's just appointed. Have you heard of a guy called Meet Coban? M-E-T-E, Coban.
No.
I was reading about this, and I just thought he's been made the environment deputy mayor, basically, or the environment deputy for the mayor of London.
Right.
What the frick that means.
Yeah.
But he's been paid 150 grand a year.
It's more than MPs. MPs are on 92.
And I was looking through this guy's CV, and he doesn't actually do anything. He's never actually done anything. Do you know what I mean? There's the population of London, the public sector in London and across the country is populated by grifters who don't actually do or make anything. Do you know what I mean? When I'm going to talk about a trip I made to Belfast last week, and when we were landing back in England, there was a group of people standing nearby me, young people, and they were talking about what they were doing. And one guy was saying, "Oh, does so and so work for you?" "Oh yes, she's I'm her supervisor." And he said, "Oh, what's she working on at the moment?" And it's like he said something like, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like, "Oh, she's doing a study on gender equality relating for this such and such and such." And I was like, "What the frick is that?" Yeah. But there were 3 people there. Clearly, him, the guy who was talking to, and her who worked for him. She was there. Were employed, paid money. They come on a business flight gone to Belfast for the day. Public sector, employed, paid money for doing things that don't mean anything or don't contribute anything or add any value to anything. And this Meet Coban's another one. He's got a £150,000 a year job working for the Mayor of London as the environment deputy. What's he going to do?
A good question. What I want to ask is, what makes these people believe in climate change? £150 wage is a really good start, isn't it?
No, you're right.
If they offered me that in Greater Manchester, if Andy Burnham phoned me and said, "Nick, I need a Greater Manchester net zero deputy mayor, we'll pay you £150,000. Do you believe in net zero?" I go, "Motherfucking yes, I do." Of course I do. 150. I'll give you 150,000 reasons why I do.
So these grifters who have no qualifications, no talent, no ability, good bullshitters, they end up getting £150,000 a year for dealing with something that just isn't an issue at all, and is a fantasy, and they will then perpetuate lots of campaigns. They'll be indoctrinating our children because he wants his 150 grand a year, doesn't he?
Yep. And there's nothing a deputy mayor of London on the environment can do.
Yeah.
The national government can do stuff and can damage the economy, but a deputy mayor of London can't do anything about the issue, even if it was a real issue. There's nothing they can do anyway.
But those 2 people in the airport terminal, I could hear chatting. I was earwigging, obviously. They were talking about stuff that's just bollocks, that doesn't exist, that isn't real. That's the bit I don't get. I'm starting to actually think, this is insanity. You have people paid, billions of pounds we're talking about, aren't they, in this country now? Salaries of billions of pounds. People who have jobs that don't mean anything, that don't produce anything, that don't generate any value for our country.
There's whole departments like that.
Yeah. But he was saying, I'm her supervisor. I know fuck all. I talk bollocks, and I supervise somebody else who knows fuck all and talks bollocks as well. And between us, we'll talk bollocks all day about gender equality between this department and that department. And she's doing a report on it. And I'm like, I felt like grabbing hold of him and shaking him and saying, "Do you realise your life is a sham? It's a joke. It's a travesty, But the sad thing about this is, it's not like they're doing it in a private business somewhere that doesn't harm anybody. They're doing it with our money, Nick. Our money. Once
you got on that treadmill in the public sector, you stay on a treadmill, and it doesn't matter what they tell you to do. That's your job, so you just keep You just keep staying on the treadmill, producing stuff that no one wants. I used to produce reports when I worked at Master Council that I knew no one read.
Yeah.
I used to collect stats
that
no one read. We used to ask questions of residents that I knew that no one wanted to know the answers to.
Yeah.
And it's just the same thing. A couple of months ago, I was in Northumberland on holiday, me and my wife, and we sat at this lovely little pub. And me and my wife are a bit different, as in we don't need company around us. We always enjoy our own company.
Although she doesn't have much company because she works from home.
Don't start, you get me in trouble. The table opposite was a couple, and then another couple turned up and sat at the other table.
Yeah.
And those two couples started talking, and one of the guys said, "Oh yeah, I'm the former chief exec of Sheffield Council," and they started talking about that, and I went, and Sharon, my wife, saw me, and she went, "Don't say a word." She went, "Don't you be questioning him now about being the chief executive, the former chief executive of Sheffield Council." I went, and they started talking bollocks, and she's going, "No, Nick, no,
Yeah.
you're not having that comment. He's on holiday as well. You don't." But I was very tempted to go, "You retired, did you?"
Yeah.
And one of the conversations he had was about how he's retired and they're putting up council tax like 10-15% and blah blah. And I felt like saying, it's not affected your pension though, has it, mate?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't a manager, he was a chief exec. He ran the council for 10-15 years, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all down to him.
Yeah.
And he left, kept everything, and now Sheffield Council is, he's in trouble, but I had to keep him out.
Pension.
Yeah.